My previous fighting game has burned out. Why, you may ask? Because I lost motivation to even continue it. If I'm being honest, I didn't really see any potential in this. I mean, the moves were pretty bad, everything was really rough, and although it was just early development of the game, I knew I couldn't really push it to be any better. But then out of nowhere, after a while, I got this sudden urge to just make another fighting game. Not the same one, but a different one with a different type of style. It's still gonna be fighting, of course, but it's going to be different. I wanted to make a fighting game where everything fights, no matter what it is. A pixel, a block, a square, a noob, a building, a box, a computer, a laptop. I feel like you could see some potential in this, and I don't know, I've been wanting to do this for a while. I've been creating ideas in my head for the past day, if I'm being honest. So today is the day where the creation of the game, Everything Fights, begins. But I wanted to start with something simple, something classic, such as the noob. It says it in its name itself, noob. You are a starter, you know nothing about this game, and you're just a beginner. And I felt like this probably is one of the best starter characters I could ever think of, because like I said, the name itself says it, noob. Either way, let's start making the noob. I got a bit carried away and forgot to record. Here's what I got so far. I made the UI for the game, and if you can't tell already, this UI is for my other game, FFA FPS, which you should totally check out. Link would be in the description. Either way, all this stuff here is for future updates. That's if this game blows up, like my other one. But once clicking select character, you'll be able to spawn in with the character you chose. Although it's missing animations, I still got the baseline to work, and that is for when I make more characters, so then later on in the future it wouldn't be so complicated to add them. Enough with the small showcase, it's time to make some animations, and by make, I mean take. I ended up finding a run and idle animation I really liked, and I imported it into my character, and there we have it. Clean, simple animations, although it's kinda wonky, it doesn't matter. Now, it's time to focus on the actual part of the game, which is combat. Alright, so after I finished up adding all the animations, everything should work. And we have a little rig right here to test things out. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Nice. Why does it do half? Okay, I don't know why it does half of its HP, but I'll balance it out later. But for right now, I mean, yeah, this... Oh. I forgot to add a cooldown. Alright, I'm gonna add a cooldown, and then I feel like after that, we should be ready to start with... Oh no, we still need to do all the fancy stuff like the down slam and uppercut and the dash and all this other crap. Alright, well, I'm gonna get to it. I was on my computer non-stop fixing these bugs. I haven't eaten, and I don't even know how long it's been. Alright, that's how bad it got, okay? Trying to implement this stupid down slam and uppercut thing. Look, the dash, I can't lie, this took me 2 seconds to make. You could clearly tell by the animation. I took this animation from some other place, and so what I did. If I stutter one more time, I'm going to rip my skull in half. Either way, so yeah. And I know it's gonna show this little punching thing, but it doesn't really do anything for the moment. I'm gonna add that. Hopefully it doesn't take my whole life again. But I finally got this stupid thing to work. You can see how bad it got. At this point, I was debugging everything, bro. I don't know. Either way, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the normal one, right? They just knock out like that. This is going to be the down slam one. And then if you jump, oh wait, yeah. There you go. I'm gonna fix the thing. I didn't but okay, well, whatever this is, I'm like what is happening? Wait, is this my internet? No, it can't be, right? No, because these don't fall. Okay, but then why do they flop? Is that just a thing? Is that just because yes? Am I just dumb? Look, if this is a bug, I'll fix it, or whatever this is. But I got the combat system done. We can now move on to making some abilities. Oh yeah, did I show you this? I don't know if I did. I'm gonna just quickly show it. That's all that. Alright, so after a bit of, playtesting and all that, I finally got everything to work. It took me a solid 40 minutes, I think. Time is going by, and I'm still sitting on my chair, coding a Roblox game. The very first thing we're gonna show you guys is the uppercut. See, it works. Boom, I told you how to get it to work. Down slam. Boom, it works. What else? Oh yeah, dash. Boom, it works. It did a little bit of damage. If you don't believe me, I'll go to this guy right here. Crap, I missed. Hold on, let the cooldown, Boom, a little bit of damage, you know. The next step is obviously make the abilities for the noob, which is going to kill me because I don't know how to do VFX or animations. Yeah, I'm so screwed for this part. So let me explain what the first ability is going to do. I made it so that the character takes a hammer from thin air. Yeah, I know it's a bit strange, but it's alright. When using this ability, this will lock the player's movement and their ability to turn around. This is so that the player would actually know how to use the ability in the right moments instead of just using it whenever. And just to make things fancy, I also ended up making the hammer slowly appear instead of it just popping up. Also, since this wasn't a tool, I couldn't just attach it to the player like if it were a tool. Instead, I had to weld it to the player's right hand, which ended up causing me problems in the end. Once again, after playtesting, I realized I forgot to link the ability to the key 1. After linking the ability to a keybind, it ended up working. When playtesting, I saw that the ability would activate when the player is clicking 1, which is kind of what I wanted, but not really. So I changed it to just make the hitbox appear at the very end of the animation. Now the final thing that I needed was just an animation. And after I added an animation, here's the final product. And like I said before, it not being a tool ended up causing the weapon to look weird in certain positions. I tried fixing it, but I couldn't find any solution, so if any of y'all know a solution, please tell me down in the comments. For the second ability, I made it so that the player caused mini noobs to attack people. They would rise up and charge at people in the direction that the player was looking. Everything was going fine up until I was coding the spawning system for the mini noobs. My main problem is that they would flop over or not move after spawning, or they would just get stuck underground. I ended up solving these problems, but when I was playtesting, I saw that only one of the noobs was rising and going underground. This is because I made a model that contained 3 meshes. My code didn't look for all 3 and apply the same factors for all of them. Instead, it just did it to one of them. After fixing that small issue, I had a working second ability. Alright, after a little while of tweaking the script, finally got it to work so where all the mobs actually rushed towards the player, because only having one looked a little goofy. I was planning on leaving it, fixing the bug later, but I was like, nah. So here's the actual final version. Not really, not the final version. Obviously I'm going to add the animations and all that other stuff, but for right now this is all I got. Although what I am questioning, okay, yeah, I'm gonna also fix that because like you just stand still for like, I don't know, too long, I guess. They are not in the middle. I just realized that. Look, I could do it. Yeah, they go to this. I don't want that. I want them to be in the middle. I'll fix that later. Faces towards your camera, so like if you look a certain direction, it will shoot the noobs that direction. So on to the next ability. Surprisingly, that didn't take long. I overcomplicated the script. I could have just used the player module, you know, the control module that the player has already. Instead, I was just trying to make my own movement script. It was stupid, and this is how it went. Alright, let's see if this works. Nope, I can't move. Okay. Alright, I guess we're gonna have to fix this. Yeah, you can't move. It's not working at all. But we finally got this stupid thing to work. Alright, so look it. We click on it, it does a little effect, and yeah. I'm holding S, by the way. I'm not doing anything else. You see that? I'm holding S, not S, D. I'm holding D, and it goes back to A. If you guys want me to buff it and invert the camera too, I could probably do that. I don't know if I really can, but this is like the best I got. And there's like a little cool effect, a little spinny effect, so you know you get hit. So yeah, on to ability 4. This time I'll make something simple and easy, so it's gonna take me like 10 minutes. I'm just gonna do a little healing effect. After the player is damaged, as you can see, we heal. And we get a little bit of heals, as you could see. That's literally it. But with that being said, we are fully finished with the characters. This is probably going to be a cool little devlog. I might continue it, I might not. If it gets enough support, then obviously I will continue it, because that means you guys actually want to see this game progress. But if it doesn't, and it kind of does pretty bad, I kind of have to call it quits, because I'm not making a full game all over again, you know? You guys will be able to test this game out if you guys want to just, I don't know, mess around. Also, by the way, I really recommend you guys to click the character, because if you don't, yeah, you won't be able to play without selecting the character. So select the character. I forgot to say that.